Hi friends, welcome to today's summary session of CAIIB ABM. So we are the fast running session today, right? So everyone might be excited tomorrow for tomorrow's exams. Too much excitement because paper will be postponed, not postponed, postponed, not postponed. Whether it will be there, not there in this situation, right? Everyone was in the same situation there, but ultimately it does come. You have to give that exam, right? So always remember, be ready for exam. Like it's always said that it's my last day of my life. Live like that. The same logic we have to apply for exam also. We have to assume that the exam is tomorrow every day and be prepared for that. And mind well, it's very simple. See here, I have done almost 16, 17 batches of CIB and JIB as well. But I'll tell you one important part. The one who is calm and quiet and silent in the paper, the one who reads the question paper correctly and fully. Remember, there are more chances of that person getting clearing the exam. Okay, your knowledge is of course important, but more important is how calm and quietly and with the logic do you apply. Do you apply in the exam? Okay, be calm. If you don't know any question, be quiet. Skip the question for time being, and then go ahead. Somewhere in the coming time, you'll get some hint. Okay, so let's start. Before starting, we'll always start with the motivation. I always start with the motivation because that's important. When obstacles arise, you change your direction to reach your goal. You do not change your decision to get there. All right, your determination for anything to be achieved is important. Okay, you never ever change. You can change the ways of doing things. Means exams. If tomorrow there are the exams, what you can do is you can change the ways of doing the things. Change the way of learning or reading. But your ultimate goal is CIB, right? Download this Adda 24/7 app on all your mobiles and your friends' mobiles to get the latest updates on the exam, the study materials available for the same, and the video lectures like this. We also have paid video lectures. So tell your friends also, share on the social media. Okay. Use the code Y432 to get 80% flat discount on Adda 24/7 app. Okay. So basically some guys are telling me to talk in Hindi also. Yeah, it's okay. हिंदी में भी बात करेंगे. जैसे जैसे टाइम आएगा बीच में, सियर जब मेनली आपको एग्जाम जो देना है वो तो इंग्लिश में ही देना है, पर जैसे जैसे आपको क्वेश्चंस बीच में आएंगे, कुछ समझाना होगा, तो आई डेफिनेटली टॉक इन इंग्लिश इन हिंदी ऑल्सो. ओके, तो लेट्स स्टार्ट. फर्स्टली हम जो टारगेट करेंगे, हम लोग मॉड्यूल वाइज टारगेट करेंगे. ओके, हिंदी में बात करूं मैं. ओके ओके, सो मैं हिंदी में बात कर रहा हूं. चलो आज मॉड्यूल हम जो है ना मॉड्यूल वाइज टारगेट करेंगे. मॉड्यूल ए, बी, सी एंड डी. सी में जो है आपके सिर्फ प्रॉब्लम्स आएंगे. ओके, somebody in our English, Hindi. Okay, यार, let's talk something. Okay, so what we'll do is I'm more conversant in English. That's why we'll start with English and somewhere in between, if required, we'll talk in Hindi. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll target it with module A, and we'll be focusing on all the important formulas for you. Module A, B, C, no formula, and D. Okay, and mind it, if you have these formulae, make it clear in your mind. If you know these formulae and if you learn this formula today, then also there are chances that you will clear the exams tomorrow. Okay, but you must understand and by heart these formulae. Okay, so let's start. For module A, the basic thing. See, the problems in module A are generally 3 to 4 types only. Firstly, I'll only speak of the formula. Then I'll cover some problems. Okay, so by that time, almost 1.5 or 2 hours would be over. So module A, M1. What are the problems in module A basically? Module A, the main problems are in chapter number 10 and chapter number 11. Okay. Chapter number 10, that is GDP, and chapter number 11, that is budget. You get mainly the problems in over there, but nowadays you also get the problems for that M1, M2, M3, M4, all those monies you get there. Others module A, you don't get any problem. Okay, so that's why module A, the focus is on the formula. For the focus for the formula on the formula is narrow money. Firstly, what do you mean by narrow money? What is narrow money? Narrow money means currency with public plus demand deposits in the banking system plus other deposits with RBI. Basically, at CAIIB level, we need to understand the things better rather than learning them better. Okay, understanding means what? Understanding means, firstly, you'll have to think, what do you mean by this currency with public and demand deposits with the banking system? These two things. Remember this simple thing. If currency with public and demand deposits, both are floating monies, and then also other deposits with RBI. These are all floating monies. Floating means it's like that CASA deposit of the bank. Okay, liquid money, right? So liquid money, floating money, it can move anytime, move out of the system anytime. So that is M1. So currency with public plus demand deposits with the banking system and other deposits with RBI. Now what is M2 then? M2 means M1 plus saving deposit with post offices. Okay, that post office savings only, remember. Okay, then M3. M3 is M1 plus here. M3 is not M2 plus, it's M1 plus. M1 plus time deposits with banking system. M1 and M2 are floating monies, remember. M3, there comes time deposits. Time deposit is not a floating money. Time deposit will be locked in for certain time. So M3 and M4 become a locked in period, locked in deposit generally. So M4 is what? M3 plus all deposits with the bank, with the post office savings banks. So M3 plus, so what was in M3? M1 plus time deposits in the banking system. So M4 is M3 plus all deposits in post office savings banks, excluding NSC. Why NSC is excluded over here? Is NSC not the part of this post office? So it is excluded because it is something different. It is a type of long-term deposit. Okay, so that's why it's never included. So remember something now. Now today, no gyan for you. Why this? Why that? Important is tomorrow's target. Okay, so excluding NSC. So got this point? M1 floating money, currency with public, demand deposits with banking system and other deposits with RBI. M2 M1 plus SB, saving deposits with post office. Then M3 is M1 plus time deposits with banking system. And M4 is M3 plus all deposits with post office. Okay, excluding NSC. Now inflation. Now this, why am I taking only problems over here? Because your paper is 60% problems and 40% theory. Even I would say going to some higher extent now. Nowadays, what do? They ask 60% case studies, 5 marks each case study, right? And then one-liners. Means one-liner problems are roughly around 10 marks. So what remains for the theory now? Only 30 marks. Okay. Generally, means this is what I have seen. At least 60% are the case studies, 5 marks each. Means 12 case studies you get generally. Okay. 12 means here and there it will be 1 or 2 here and there. Sometimes you might get 10 and not more than 12, but okay. So inflation now. So that's why I'm targeting these all biggies basically. So once you are clear with the case studies, your paper is out, you are through, right? Now inflation. Inflation is what? See, remember along with this formula, I'll also cover the important theory which is required. Okay. What is the important theory? Inflation is of 2 types. Always remember. Inflation is of 2 types. Which one? That is this. It comprises basically 2 things, right? That CPI, consumer price, and then WPI. Okay. both these things cover this inflation. Now, what is WPI? It's a wholesale price. And what is CPI? Consumer price, right? Wholesale means what? From the name itself, we'll understand. So, what can be the major portion of WPI? Can anyone tell me? Major portion of WPI, because it's a wholesale industry to industry. So, what can be the major thing for WPI? I'll count 10. 1. Can anyone tell me major portion of WPI? Wholesale price index. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So what can be the major part for wholesale WPI? WPI, it will be oil will be the major part. Wholesale bulk means oil, right? So oil, what can be the major portion for CPI, consumer price index? Staples, which are there for consumers, right? So inflation, there are two types of, we'll study it over in later for GDP basically. Price index in the current year minus price index in the base year. Okay, upon there will be upon over here, upon price index in the base year. This upon is not given. It'll be there, definitely be there. So that's why percentage is counted. Okay, so price index in the current minus price index in the base upon price index in the base into 100. Okay, so always inflation is with respect to some base year. Okay, then GDP. Now this GDP, important one is GDP is here. GDP, there will be a case study or there will be one formula question on GDP, and there can be one question on GDP, means problem on GDP, one liner or a case study of 3 marks. So what can be what is GDP basically? GDP is gross domestic product. What are the two types of products? GDP and GNP. Then how do you differentiate between GDP and GNP? GDP is totally what is produced in the country within that limits. And what is GNP? What is produced by the nationals. Now those nationals can produce it within the country also, or they can produce it outside the country also. Okay. So even if Tata's manufacture something in UK, so that can be also considered that will be in fact considered in GNP. So GDP is what? C plus I plus G plus X minus M. What is G? G is government. Okay. What is X? Exports. What is M? This is imports. Right. So this total private spending, C plus I comes to private spending. These all figures will be given to you in exam, and you have to just subtract them. Okay. So C plus I plus government spending, private spending plus government spending plus net of exports, it's called as. Okay. So always remember this formula, everything will be given to you. Okay. Never ever forget this. C plus I plus B, see that serial CID. So remember that CID, instead of CID, we'll remember CIG. CIG plus X minus M. Okay. 1 mark is sure for this. Well, not 1 mark, in fact, 2 marks are sure from this. Okay. So GNP means, again, as I told you, GDP plus NRI means whatever they have produced outside. Nationals who have produced inside as well as outside, both are considered in GNP. Okay. So, but what has been produced by external agencies within the country, that is subtracted. Always remember. Okay. Suppose if, let's say, some foreign company, if it manufactures something in India and then money is transferred back to them later, means that profit is transferred back. So that won't be a part of GNP. That would be a part of GDP, but can't be a part of GNP. Okay. Okay. So this consumption plus this, right? So consumption plus this private spending plus government plus net of exports. Now GDP at factor cost. This question I have seen almost twice or thrice in these exams. GDP at factor cost. So GDP at market price minus indirect taxes minus subsidies. Remember this formula throughout, or by heart basically. Okay. So GDP at market price will be given to you, number one, or it will be easily calculated. Just adding these, whatever the things would be elements, those would be given to you. Minus these indirect taxes, minus these subsidies. All these figures will be given to you. Okay. Next, total revenue receipts. Now this comes the chapter number 11. Okay. Now what we are focusing on here is major formulae. Formulae are for case studies. Never ever share. If your case studies are clear, remember you'll get through the paper. If you only focus on theory, you'll never get through the paper. Keep it simple. Okay. So total revenue receipts equals to net tax revenue plus net non-tax revenue. Now, what are the revenues? What are the receipts basically? There are two types of receipts for any government: capital receipt and revenue receipt. Okay. So capital receipt means how many types of capital receipts can be there? One is non-debt and second is debt. Debt means what? Taking loans. If the government take loans from outside, that is called as debt. If the government sells its assets, then it is called as it's non-debt. Okay. Similarly, total revenue receipts equals to net tax revenue plus total non-tax revenue. Now, what is the net tax revenue? What is it in net tax revenue? Net tax revenue means whatever the government collects from you in terms of taxes is added over here. What is non-tax revenue? All the fines or all the fees. Suppose if you pay for some exam, that exam fees which goes to the government, everything, all that. Okay. So that is non-tax revenue. Then present value factor. Here, I'm only covering these important parts over here because now you have only 2 hours. Means session is for 2 hours. And you have only roughly how many? 10, 12 hours remaining. Okay. Don't go for enough gyan now. Okay. Present value equals to discount factor into this CM. What is present value? Here. Some guys are asking for MCQs. Here, what do you mean by MCQs? I don't understand what are MCQs. MCQs means you'll get these MCQs from this only. What is GDP? How is GDP calculated? How is GNP calculated? These are MCQs. Once you are through with the formula, you are through in the exam. Mind it. Okay. So present value equals to discounting factor into, basically what is present value? There are 2 types of values, right? One is future and second is present. What is future value? Future value means what we always go for compounding in that. Okay. So compounding over there. And in present value, what are we doing? We are going for discounting over here. Okay. So compounding and discounting. So discounting factor. This is important. How is the discounting factor called for? 1 upon 1 plus R raised to n. What is the present value? Present value is always what the future money is there divided by the discounting factor. Okay. Now, second part is this module B, again the formula for that. Now, what are the formula for this? Cash flow for n period. Now, we'll be solving problems also. We are having case studies later. All the case studies which you will see tomorrow, you'll see it over here now. Okay. Cash flow for n period. Now, cash flow for n period means what? How is cash flow calculated for anything, means any future value problem? Can anyone tell me how is the cash flow calculated? Discounting factor is okay, 1 upon 1 plus R raised to n. Cash flow is present value into 1 plus R raised to n. Means what? There are 2 types of cash flows. Always remember. One is one stroke, that is compound interest formula. Okay. PV into 1 plus R raised to n. And second is what? Second is annuity. Annuity means what? Annuity means you get it in the regular terms. Now, what is the definition of annuity? Can anyone tell me? What are the two main factors of annuity? Can anyone tell me? 2 main factors of annuity, which are very important. Otherwise, it's not called as annuity. Which are the ones? Annuity, because tomorrow is the exam. We must know these things by now. Okay. So annuity means what? There is a fixed payment. After some means each period there is a fixed payment. Means what? If in 1 month I am paying 500 rupees, I must pay 500 rupees every month. Number one. If I pay 500 now, then next month I pay 700. Next month I pay 600. That's not annuity. Okay. Second point, it should be a regular payment. Regular payment means every month it should be due. It should be there. Here we know the definitions of annuity due or ordinary annuity, but we many a times forget the basics of annuity. Basics of annuity means there should be regular payment. Okay, your electricity bill, which is paid on the monthly basis, is not annuity. Okay, why? Because the electricity bill varies, but the rent paid on an annual basis is a fixed on a monthly basis is an annuity because rent paid is fixed. Okay, so discounting factor 1 upon 1 plus R is 2, and this you have already studied in JIB, so no need of wasting the time on this. Then effective rate of interest. Effective rate of interest is always calculated like 1 plus R the whole upon 1 plus R upon n the whole raised to n minus 1. This where do you require this rate? Suppose if I ask you, because this question comes for the effective rate question comes for you in exam. Let's say if there is a 7% annual FD given and the interest is given on a quarterly basis, then what will be the effective rate of interest? Okay, what will be the effective rate of interest if it is given at a quarterly basis? So what can it be? 7% on the quarterly basis, it means 7 divided by 4. The number by which you divide R, the same number you should multiply it by n. Okay, means if it is for 1 year, then R upon 4 means 7 upon 4, and 1 means 1 into 4. Okay, so always remember this 1 plus this. So effective rate of interest is always what? Divided by the same number and multiplied by the same number. This you have already done it in JIB, and then the answer which you get is the effective rate. Current yield on coupon. Current yield on coupon means what? What do you mean by yield basically? What is yield? Yield is yield means that what is the effective or asking rate in the market. In a bond, there are always two things, 5 elements which are important. Which are the 5 elements? 3 are non-market or static ones, and 2 are market related. So which are the static ones? One is this principal amount which we pay, that is called as face value or par value. Second is period, N, and third is the rate of interest, coupon. So all the 3 can't be changed once they are decided on a bond. Then what changes? What changes is the market rate and a market value. Okay, market rate and a market value. Now both these things, market rate is known as yield. Some books called it YTM, some books called it call them asking rate, some books called it call it discounting rate. Okay, so it can be anything but which the market demands. And what is the market value then? Depending on this yield, your market value goes up or down. If yield goes up, your market value goes down. If yield goes down, your market value goes up. Okay. So current yield on the coupon equals to current coupon or nominal yield upon 100 into current market price. Means this yield percentage, whatever is given to you, okay, means suppose if let's say the yield percentage is 7%, so 7 upon whatever amount I have invested, upon whatever amount I have invested into 100. It's like this. So this coupon or nominal yield upon market price, whatever I have invested into 100. Rate of return. Rate of return equals to coupon plus price change upon investment. Means what? Coupon plus price change. Suppose if I buy a bond today, get a coupon amount every month, and then I sell it within the 1 year. Within 1 year. Okay. I buy it for, let's say, 80 rupees and sell it for 90 rupees. So I'll get a 10 rupees rise over here plus my coupon amount, whatever I've got it. So basically rate of return means yield. Yield means again the same thing. Whatever I've got upon whatever I've invested into 100 if you want. Because if it's in percentages, then it's into 100. Okay. So remember this for rate of for yield or rate of return. Okay. Next, yield on discounted instruments. The issue price of a discounted instrument can be calculated by using the formula. So this formula, discounted instruments, it rarely comes for CAIIB, but I've seen it only once or twice in the exam. So that is what F upon 1 plus this full 1 plus R into N upon 365. This upon this, why this 00? Because it's into 100, 365 into 100. Okay. So remember this formula, F upon 1 plus R into N. R means what? Effective rate of interest per annum, and N is the tenure of the instrument. To find the yield from a discounted instrument, the following formula can be derived from the above one. So again, it's the same thing, revision of this. If you know one formula, this one, remaining things you can derive. So not to waste the time on this. What is zero coupon bond? Zero coupon bond is a long-term bond that pays no interest. Okay. Now, if this bond doesn't pay any interest, then why should the person buy it? Okay, tell me one example that zero coupon bonds are issued by governments. Which government issues the zero coupon bonds in what form? What are the simplest forms in which the government issues the zero coupon bonds? Anyone? Government issues the zero coupon bonds in which form? Tomorrow you will get such questions of treasury. See here. In treasury, always remember zero coupon bonds means the T-bills which are issued by the government are always zero coupon bonds. Are always. T-bills are never pay any interest. They are issued at discount. Okay. So zero coupon bond is a long-term bond. It can be long-term also or short-term also. Even T-bills are short-term bonds. But they are also issued at discount. They don't pay any interest. And if it's issued in a longer term, then it's called as a bond. When it's issued within a year, it's called a bill. Okay. So zero coupon bond is a long-term bond that pays no interest. Then why should the people buy it? People should buy it because they are issued at discount. Discount means if the face value of that bond is 100, then it will be issued at, let's say, 97 or 96, because 4% or 4.25% would be the total yield which you will be earning on that. This bond is sold at a discount. They can be calculated using the formula zero coupon equals to face value upon 1 plus RS to N. Now this is simple formula of present value. If the face value is 100 and today I have to buy it, then I'll use it for 1 plus RS to N. Now if this N means if it's for 1 year, then it's only RS to 1. So if you are asked in exam about the question like the government is issuing a treasury bill for, let's say, 94 days and today you have to buy it. The face value of that T-bill is 100 rupees. At what price will you buy it? And you are given the inflation rate also. So what will you do? If it's a 94 day, it means what? Divide that year into 4 parts. Okay. So that R will be divided into 4 parts. Okay. So R upon 4 over here. But that T-bill is only for 94 days. Remember this. So it's this N won't be multiplied for 1 year. Means 1 into 4. It won't be there. It won't be multiplied because this N, this R is what we are calculating is only for 94 days. So what you can do is, or you can do that also. Suppose if you multiply this also, then you'll get a year annual interest rate, whatever you are earning. So that way also you can do it. But basically remember, if you divide R by a certain number, in while calculating a value of the bond, always multiply n by the same number if you want annualized returns. Okay, so face value of the bond, R is rate of return, and n is what? Maturity period. Future value of, now these are all formulae. Future value of any annuity equals to, annuity means what? Annuity means there's a specific timeline. What are the types of annuities? There are two types of annuities. Which one? Annuity due and ordinary annuity. Okay. So annuity due means what? And ordinary means what? Due means at the beginning, ordinary means at the end. So beginning means what? We'll get this formula 1 plus R. So remember, always for remembering the formulae, the simple way is remember the future value formula. Never remember all the formula. Future value formula, if you want, it's simple. F equals to C into 1 plus R raised to n minus 1 upon R, right? And if you want it for present value, so just divide it by 1 plus R raised to n. Now, if you want it for this due, just multiply the present value of ordinary by 1 plus R, and similarly for the present value, this future value. Okay. So these formulae you might be knowing by now, because in JIB you have already done, in CAIIB also you might have studied. Now, value of the bond is what? The value of a bond, any bond, is what? Only there are two types of values. One is one stroke, and second is annuity. One stroke means face value. Whatever the face value you will be getting. Face value means when will you get the face value? You will get it back at the end of the period. And coupon means you'll get the coupon amount this on an annual basis or the required basis. If the bond is 6 monthly, then it is given on a 6 month basis. Okay. If it's quarterly, then on a quarterly basis. So what we have to do, we have to find the present value of the coupon and present value of that face value. Now, how to find the present value of that face value? That present value of the face value will be found out using the compound interest formula. Right? F equals to P into 1 plus R raised to n. So you want P. So F upon 1 plus R raised to n. And what is this coupon? That coupon with present value is used is C into 1 plus R raised to n minus 1 upon R into 1 plus R raised to n. Right? That formula again, somewhere here it's there. Yeah. So use that. And you might be knowing by this now. Okay. For bonds only, these are important. And once you are through with this formula, or once you look at the problem carefully and silently, you will definitely get the answer. Now, statistics. When we'll solve the case study, then you'll understand it better. So standard error means what? Always there are two types. Always remember. Let's see. We'll solve that later. Standard error. Present value will first we'll go on with the bond only. Present value of the perpetuity. These two formulas, this perpetuity, this part is such important and such a simple formula, but we always forget it. Present value of the perpetuity equals to A upon R. What is A? Annuity. What is R? Rate of interest. Remember this formula, you will always definitely get one question on perpetuity. Remember, whatever I am saying, you will see there in the question paper tomorrow. Means almost 80%, because otherwise somebody will say leaking the paper. Okay, almost 80% will be there. If S is the sample space, now this is again for probability. If S is the sample space and E is event of occurrence, then the probability of occurrence is what? CR. Always remember one important part for probability. How to find out the probability? Probability is always found out using simple formula. What is required upon what is the total? Now that total is called as sample space, and that required is what? Required is called as whatever is required. Means E, expected. Means occurrence, positive event or occurrence event. Okay. So what is it? E upon S or NE upon NS. N means numbers. This example is like, suppose if I have a deck of cards and suppose if I want a king. So what are the chances of getting the king? Can anyone tell me? I am having a deck of cards and I want the king, only king to come. So what are the chances? So remember this, any upon ns. Any means what? I want king. E is what is required. I want a king. So how many kings are there in the deck? 4. So 4 upon what is the total sample space? How many cards are there? 52. So 4 upon 52, 1 upon 13. Now, if I say I want a king of heart, only one. So how many king of hearts are there? Only one there. So 1 upon 52. Okay. So the probability of occurrence over there will be 1 upon 52. Or if I say I want either this page of heart, any card of heart or any card of spade, means बादाम या चौकट, दोनों में से कोई भी एक चाहिए मुझे, तो क्या probability होगी? What will be the probability for that? So in the probability in that case is I want heart or spade. So what can be the probability of this? Anyone? Heart or spade? What can be the probability? Any card of heart or any card of spade. Spade. So what can be the probability for that? Any card of heart or any card of spade. See here, the answer many of you have given is 1 upon 4, but it's not 1 upon 4. Any card of heart. How many cards of heart are there? How many cards of heart are there? There are 13 cards. And how many cards of spade are there? 13 cards. So total required cards are how many? 13 plus 13. 26. Upon, what is the sample space? How many cards are there in total? 52. So 26 upon 52. So that is 1 upon 2. Always, that's why I said, look at the paper very calmly. You want total cards of spade or heart. So it means 13 plus 13 you want. If I ask you, what is the probability that I'll get king of heart or king of spade? King of heart or king of spade. Then what can be the probability? King of heart or king of spade. Anyone? King of heart or king of spade. Remember, in probability always, king of heart and or means always plus. Probability has 2 rules. Or means plus and means multiply. Okay. So king of heart, how many king of heart are there? 1. Or king of spade, how many king of spade are there? 1. So or is there. So 1 plus 1, it means 2. And what is the total sample space? That is 52. So 2 upon 52, that is 1 upon 26. Okay. Means when it is single card, king of heart or king of spade. Okay. Now one more question I'll ask you. What is the probability of getting king of heart and king of spade? King of heart and king of spade. What is the probability of getting them? What is the probability? अगर आपको हिंदी में भी मैं पूछ लेता हूँ, those who are in हिंदी, अगर आपको एक पत्ते का पूरा कैट दिया जाए, उसमें से आपको पूछा जाए कि किंग ऑफ हार्ट मतलब बादाम का राजा या चौकट का राजा, बादाम का राजा या चौकट का राजा अगर पूछा जाए तो आपको ऐड करना है 1 और 1. और अगर मैं पूछूं बादाम का राजा और चौकट का राजा है, एक पत्ता उठाऊं मैं और उसमें बादाम का राजा और चौकट का राजा है, तो क्या प्रोबेबिलिटी होती है? King of heart or and king of spade. And now I'm using and. Okay. So what is the probability? The probability is 0, 0, 0, 0. Why? Because I want king of heart and king of spade. अगर मैं एक ही पत्ता उठाऊं तो दोनों कैसे आ सकते हैं? एंड मतलब दोनों भी आने चाहिए, और मतलब या तो ये या तो वो. एंड मीन्स दोनों भी, ये हो ही नहीं सकता ऐसा. दैट्स इट, राइट? सो दैट्स व्हाई एंड जब भी आता है, जब एंड होता है तो वो मल्टीप्लाई किया जाता है. ओके. एंड अगर आएगा तो वो 0 आएगा. एंड किंग ऑफ स्पेड. ओके. एंड सिंगल कार्ड इज ड्रॉन. अब नेक्स्ट ये है कोरिलेशन एंड वेरिएंस। ये केस स्टडी मैं अभी लूंगा आपसे, आपकी बाद में। ये जस्ट फॉर्मूले पहले देख लो, स्टडी द फॉर्मूलेज नाउ। I'll take the case study, full case study I am taking it, and mind it, you'll get it for 5 marks. There is no paper in CIB which doesn't have the case study in correlation. No paper up till now. Okay, so you have to study it and you have to understand it at any cost. Okay, so what are the important parts in correlation and regression? Firstly, what is correlation? What is correlation? Can anyone tell me? Correlation. Here, always remember the two parts over there are correlation and regression. Correlation means what? कि अगर आपके पास एक जगह पे मैं 12 पॉइंट्स दे दूं and I draw a central line from that, I give a 12 points on the page and I draw a central line, then it shows that what is the relationship between these points and the straight line, with how much distance these from the straight line these points are there, mean at what distance and what is the total distance. Then we find out the standard deviation from there, और उसके बाद standard deviation लेने के बाद फिर हम लेते हैं उसको regression. Regression is always a straight line, जो बीच की जो लाइन आएगी उसको regression कहा जाएगा, और regression line से बाकी जो पॉइंट्स है वो कितने दूर है. From that regression line, how far are these points is the deviation, and addition of all those deviations divided by number of those elements is called as standard deviation. Okay, so अब मीन क्या होता है? ओके, मुझे पहले तीन चीजें बोली इन कोरिलेशन रिग्रेशन में. वेरी 3 important points are there which are always required: mean, mode and median. Okay, what is mean? Mean is average. ये सिंपल है. सपोज 5 लड़के हैं, उनका टोटल एज दिया है, we'll add that age and divide by 5, that is the average. What is mode? Anyone? What is mode? Mode means, anyone? Mode क्या होता है और median क्या होता है? What is mode? Anyone? Are you guys there? Yeah. Mode means क्या होता है? जो मैक्सिमम टाइम्स आएगा उसे मोड कहा जाता है. जो मैक्सिमम टाइम्स आएगा उसे मोड कहा जाता है. मतलब क्या कि अगर मेरे पास 5 नंबर्स हैं, मुझे 5 नंबर्स दिए गए, एंड सपोज द नंबर्स आर लाइक दिस 1 2 2 3 4, 1 2 2 3 4, तो उसमें मोड क्या होगा? मोड होगा कि 2 2 जो मैक्सिमम टाइम्स आया है वो मोड होगा. अब क्वेश्चन मेरा ऐसा आएगा कि एक सपोज दिए हुए सेट में मोर देन 1 मोड्स हो सकते हैं क्या? कैन देयर बी मोर देन 1 मोड्स? सो देयर कैन बी. सपोज मेरे नंबर्स है 1 2 2 4 4, तो 4 भी 2 बार है, 2 भी 2 बार है. So that is, by that way you will understand that what is it? There are 2 modes. ठीक है. Suppose 1 2 3 4 5, 5 नंबर दिए और एक ही बार है, तो मोड क्या है? There is no mode in that. Okay. अब मीडियन क्या है? What do you mean by median? Median means, suppose if you arrange the numbers either in ascending or descending, and then the central number. Understand the important part. You have to first arrange them in ascending or descending, and then you'll get the central number. Means what? Suppose मेरे पास नंबर दिए गए हैं कि 3 1 2 5 4, 3 1 2 5 4. Are they in serial order? No. Either I'll have to arrange them in ascending or descending, and then the central number means I'll arrange them 1 2 3 4 5 or 5 4 3 2 1. And then the central number, that is 3, will be the median. Okay. But अब मेरा क्वेश्चन अलग आएगा कि अगर मेरे पास 4 ही नंबर होंगे तो सपोज 1 2 3 4 ओनली, अब उसका मीडियन निकालो, क्या आएगा? सो मीडियन फॉर दैट, इफ द नंबर ऑफ एलिमेंट्स आर इवन, then If the number of elements are even, then the median is the central number or the middle number or the average number of the middle two numbers. Means 1 2 3 4 अगर मेरा आया तो उसमें से 2 और 3 उसका टोटल अपॉन 2 एवरेज मतलब 2 plus 3 upon 2 that is 5 upon 2 2.5. 2.5 will be my median. So the next question, no not 3, 2.5, 1 2 3 4 का खाली, हाँ 5 होगा तो 1 2 3 4 5, 3 will be the median. But if it is 1 2 3 4 only, so median will be 2 plus 3 upon 2. Always remember median. Okay, so my question to you will be, and this is the CIB question. CIB में question ये आया हुआ है. The question is, can the median be a number which is not there in the given sample space? Can median be a number which is not given in the sample space? अब आंसर दोगे क्या? कौन आंसर देगा? Can the median be a number which is not there in a sample space? ये ऐसा हो सकता है क्या कि जो नहीं दिया गया नंबर है, मतलब सैंपल स्पेस में आपको सपोज कुछ नंबर्स दिए तो उसमें से मीडियन उसका ऐसे हो सकता है कि वो उसमें है ही नहीं फिर भी मीडियन है, ऐसे हो सकता है. कब? When can this happen? This can happen when the number of elements are even or odd. कब आएगा ये? When the number of elements are even or the number of elements are odd. कब आ सकता है ये? जब वो नंबर मीडियन नंबर उसमें है ही नहीं. कब आ सकता है ये? If it is even, right? Correctly, somebody has correctly written. Yeah, right, even. So when the elements are even, then the median may not be or will not lie in the sample space. But अब मेरा अगला क्वेश्चन इसमें आएगा क्योंकि ये सब CIB क्वेश्चन है. मोड, can a mode be a number which is not there in the sample space given? Can mode be a number which is not there in the sample space given? मोड हो सकता है क्या? मोड, can mode be a number which is not there in the sample space given? Mode, median is okay, median can be there if even numbers, but mode में क्या है? मोड हो सकता है क्या कभी? No, mode can never be, never. मोड कभी भी सैंपल स्पेस से बाहर नहीं जा सकता. Okay, can mean be a number which is outside the sample space? Yes, it can be. Mean can be there. Suppose मैं लूं 1 2 3 4 इसका मीन लूं तो क्या आएगा? वह है क्या उसमें? नहीं है, right? So that's why mean and median can be the numbers which are not there in the sample space, right? But mode can't be there. Okay, next. अब आपको नेक्स्ट याद रखना है इसमें वैरिएंस. ओके, वैरिएंस क्या? वैरिएंस और स्टैंडर्ड डेविएशन ये दो को जुड़वा भाई है, राम और श्याम. ऑलवेज रिमेंबर, वैरिएंस और स्टैंडर्ड. वैरिएंस आया कि स्टैंडर्ड डेविएशन आना ही चाहिए, ये दोनों जुड़वा भाई है. देयर कांट बी अ वैरिएंस विदाउट स्टैंडर्ड डेविएशन, देयर कांट बी अ स्टैंडर्ड डेविएशन विदाउट वैरिएंस. ठीक है. सो व्हाट इज वैरिएंस? वैरिएंस का फॉर्मूला देखिए, याद रखिए, ये केस स्टडी में आने वाला है आपको. समेशन एक्स स्क्वायर अपॉन एन माइनस एक्स बार द होल स्क्वायर. मीन एक्स बोलते हैं उसको, एक्स बार बोलते हैं. सो वैरिएंस फॉर्मूला इज समेशन एक्स स्क्वायर अपॉन एन माइनस एक्स बार द होल स्क्वायर. वंस यू फाइंड आउट द वैरिएंस, देन व्हाट बिकम्स, आपके एक बार वैरिएंस आ जाए तो बहुत से दरवाजे खुल जाते हैं. कौन कौन से दरवाजे खुल जाते हैं? आपको आर निकालने का दरवाजा खुल जाता है, आपको स्टैंडर्ड डेविएशन का दरवाजा खुल जाता है, आपका ये जो लाइन होता है, कभी रिग्रेशन लाइन का प्रॉब्लम अपन लेने वाले, विल टेक दैट प्रॉब्लम ऑफ रिग्रेशन लाइन. सो इन दैट रिग्रेशन लाइन यू विल गेट y इक्वल्स टू a प्लस bx. तो उसमें b निकालने का फिर से आपका दरवाजा खुल जाता है. सो वैरिएंस इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. Variance is always for two things. One is x and second is y, and third is we call it covariance. ये covariance बोलते हैं. तो वैरिएंस x इक्वल्स टू समेशन x स्क्वायर अपॉन n माइनस x बार द होल स्क्वायर, और स्टैंडर्ड डेविएशन उसका स्क्वायर रूट जो वैरिएंस है वो, ओके। एंड वैरिएंस y इक्वल्स टू सेम समेशन y स्क्वायर अपॉन n माइनस y बार द होल स्क्वायर। कोवैरिएंस मतलब क्या? कोवैरिएंस देखिए, आपको याद नहीं रखना है सब फॉर्मूले, इतने एक याद रखना है खाली बस। वैरिएंस ऑफ x सिमिलरली वैरिएंस ऑफ y आएगा, फिर कोवैरिएंस कहाँ अलग है? वो भी अलग नहीं है। सिर्फ आपको क्या करना है, समेशन x स्क्वायर के जगह समेशन xy करना है, समेशन x स्क्वायर के जगह समेशन xy करना है, बाकी सेम है। और यहाँ x बार का स्क्वायर था तो आपको क्या करना है, यहाँ पर x बार डॉट y बार, मतलब मीन ऑफ x इंटू मीन ऑफ y। देखिए कीप इट वेरी सिंपल, अगर x है तो x के स्क्वायर x का और x का x बार का स्क्वायर, y है तो y स्क्वायर और y बार का स्क्वायर, और xy है तो किसी का स्क्वायर, मतलब डिग्री मैक्सिमम शुड बी 2। तो उसमें क्या करो आप, x और y, x बार y बार, ठीक है। once you get this always remember this summation x square upon n minus x bar the whole square, समेशन y स्क्वायर अपॉन n, ये n खाली y स्क्वायर के लिए है, ये n खाली x स्क्वायर के लिए है, समेशन x स्क्वायर के लिए, ओके। तो समेशन y स्क्वायर अपॉन n माइनस y बार द होल स्क्वायर। सिमिलरली कोवैरिएंस भी वैसे ही है, समेशन xy अपॉन n माइनस x बार डॉट y बार, ठीक है। नाउ r इक्वल्स टू ये, व्हाट इज दिस कॉल्ड एज? दिस इज कॉल्ड एज कोएफिशिएंट ऑफ कोरिलेशन। अभी कोएफिशिएंट ऑफ कोरिलेशन क्या होता है? व्हाट इज दिस? कोएफिशिएंट ऑफ कोरिलेशन मींस हाउ स्ट्रांग द टू एलिमेंट्स x एंड y आर अटैच्ड टू ईच अदर। मतलब क्या? मींस सपोज इफ x is moving by one step, is y also moving by one step? If they are moving in by 1:1, then what do we say? They are strongly correlated. R has always three values. R always has three values. Which are the three values? R maximum value of R is +1, minimum value of R is -1, and R can always have a value of 0 also, and it can have some value from 0 to 1 and 0 to -1. उसके बीच में -1 से +1 के बीच में R की वैल्यू आ सकती है। इफ अब CIB का क्वेश्चन क्या है? CIB का क्वेश्चन ये आएगा कि R जो आपको आएगा ना, वो आपका मींस R which you will get. So I'll talk in both English and Hindi because some guys are in Hindi, some guys are English. Okay, where the R which you get generally for CIB, they give you the R which is nearer to 1 or which is nearer to -1, and then they ask you, what do you think about the correlation? R 1 के पास में देंगे या -1 के पास में देंगे? So if it is nearer to 1, तो आपको क्या लिखना है? They have the strongest correlation. If they are nearer to -1, then they have totally opposite correlation. Means x अगर ऊपर दिखता है तो y दिखता है नीचे, and 0 means there is no relationship between these two. एक जाता है कहीं, दूसरा जाता है कहीं, both have no relationship with each other. Okay, so remember R equals to covariance of xy, ये कोवैरिएंस जो आया था ना आपका, ये सेम टू सेम यहाँ लेना है, अपॉन स्टैंडर्ड डेविएशन ऑफ x इनटू स्टैंडर्ड डेविएशन ऑफ x, इसको psi x बोलते हैं, psi x इनटू psi y. So covariance of x the whole upon psi x psi y. Okay, covariance of xy upon psi x psi y. अब covariance of xy आपको यहाँ आ गया, psi x कहाँ मिला आपको? ये वैरिएंस जो आपने निकाला, ये वैरिएंस का स्क्वायर रूट मतलब स्टैंडर्ड डेविएशन psi x है। सिमिलरली इस वैरिएंस का स्क्वायर रूट आपको स्टैंडर्ड डेविएशन। आपको मैं प्रॉब्लम लेने वाला हूँ अभी, लेट मी सी, बाद में जैसे ये कंप्लीट होता है ना ये, तो मैं आपका एक प्रॉब्लम लेने वाला हूँ, उसमें आपको ये पूरा कंसेप्ट क्लियर होगा, पूरा A to Z, वेट टिल द एंड। ओके, देन व्हाट, वंस यू फाइंड दिस R के बाद आपको क्या करना है? रिग्रेशन फाइंड करना है। देखिए ये R तक जो पार्ट है दैट इज कोरिलेशन, आफ्टर R what comes is regression. R के बाद रिग्रेशन का काम शुरू, R के पहले कोरिलेशन का काम शुरू। ओके, सब सो अब R के बाद आ गए अपन, क्योंकि आर आ गया अपने पास, आर इक्वल्स, देन आफ्टर दैट व्हाट, वाई इक्वल्स टू ए प्लस बी एक्स। अब अपना टारगेट ये हो जाता है एग्जाम में, आपको 5 मार्क्स का केस स्टडी आने वाला है इस पर, ये लिख के लेना मेरे से, और नहीं आया तो कल मुझे बोलना, ठीक है। y equals to a plus bx, you have to find a and b. Okay, how to find b? Firstly you have to target b, पहले b फाइंड करो, a के चक्कर में मत पड़ो, पहले b फाइंड करो। how to find b? b equals to फॉर्मूला ये, covariance of xy upon variance of x, covariance of xy upon variance of x. Okay, so once you find out this b, then input it over here and you'll get a, मैं समझाऊंगा वो प्रॉब्लम में, ठीक है। अब इंपॉर्टेंट पार्ट, ये 1 मार्क क्वेश्चन आपका, आपको ये एग्जाम में ऐसा फिगर ये दिया जाएगा और आपको पूछा जाएगा ये किसका वरायंस है, पॉपुलेशन का या सैंपल का, आपको ये पूछा जाएगा, ठीक है। तो आपको हमेशा ध्यान में रखना है, अगर इसमें म्यू दिया गया है, म्यू इज ऑलवेज फॉर पॉपुलेशन, और अगर एक्स बार दिया गया है तो दैट इज ऑलवेज फॉर सैंपल। ओके, एन जो कैपिटल होता है ये हमेशा पॉपुलेशन के लिए होता है, एन जो स्मॉल होता है वो हमेशा सैंपल के लिए होता है। ओके, याद रखना इन बातों को। कल दोस्त मीन्स अगर किसी का पढ़ाई कम हुआ होगा या थोड़ा प्रॉब्लम, तो इसको भी याद रखोगे आप, तो भी आपको ये एक एक मार्क एक एक करके समझ ये हो जाएगा। अब क्या है, 49 और 50 मार्क्स का जो डिफरेंस है, दैट एवरीवन अमंगस्ट यू नोस, राइट, कितना डिफरेंस आता है और कितना फर्क पड़ता है उसका, और कितने सालों तक उसका फर्क पड़ता है। आई हैव सीन दैट, मतलब 49 पे रुके हुए बंदे एक बार रुक गए तो कई सालों तक निकलते ही नहीं। ओके, सो एक एक मार्क जो जमा करना है आपको वो ऐसे जमा करना है, और सिंपल सिंपल इश्यूज आएंगे, सिंपल सिंपल प्रॉब्लम्स आएंगे आपको, ठीक है। So remember this summation. What is this population variance? Mu आएगा और n आएगा, सैंपल variance x बार और n माइनस वन, हमेशा ध्यान में रखना यहाँ n माइनस वन है, ठीक है, और यहाँ कैपिटल N है। ओके, सो अब आ गए अपन एक केस स्टडी पर, ठीक है, क्योंकि अब ये मॉड्यूल बी का केस स्टडी सब अपन ले रहे हैं, ऑल दो इंपॉर्टेंट वंस, अभी सब तो नहीं होता, इंपॉर्टेंट वंस। ओके, ये केस स्टडी आप देखना, ये या ऐसा वाला आपको कल एग्जाम में देखना क्या आता है, ठीक है। एंड वंस यू सी दिस एंड दोज हु हैव नॉट स्टडीड एंड विल नॉट पे अटेंशन ओवर हियर, कल देखना आंखें कैसे चौंक जाएंगी। सो ऑलवेज रिमेंबर, फोकस whatever I am teaching right now, look at this very carefully. From the population with a known standard deviation of 1.65, a sample of 32 items resulted in 34.8 as an estimate of the mean. Okay, find the standard error of the mean. इतना आपको अगर प्रॉब्लम में आएगा, जनरली ए पार्ट ही आता है, बी पार्ट नहीं आता, ए पार्ट ही आता है जनरली, बस इतना ही पूछा जाता है, 1 मार्क के लिए आएगा। एंड इफ इट कम्स फॉर 3 मार्क्स तो फिर आपको ये सब दिया जाए इसमें, पर इसमें एक प्रॉब्लम होता है, बी पार्ट आपको देते नहीं है जनरली, क्योंकि अगर बी दिया उन्होंने तो आपको उनको एक ये देना पड़ता है, इसका प्रोबेबिलिटी देना पड़ता है 99.7 का। सो 99.7 का प्रोबेबिलिटी होता है 3 साई। देयर इज अ रूल कॉल्ड एज 68 95 99 रूल। 68 का 1 साई होता है, 1 स्टैंडर्ड एरर, अपन वो भी लेने वाले हैं। इनफैक्ट मैंने दोनों कवर किया है, ए एंड बी, पर एग्जाम में आपको ध्यान में रखना ए तक ही आएगा, अगर बी आ गया तो भी अभी मैं जो ले रहा हूँ वो ध्यान देना उस पर। अब क्या क्या दिया है, फ्रॉम द पॉपुलेशन विद नोन स्टैंडर्ड डेविएशन। अब स्टैंडर्ड डेविएशन आई नो इज ऑफ 1.65, a sample of 32 items means what is the sample size? Now it's given sample means what, n minus 1, small. Okay, do I know the population size? No. Okay, so resulted in 34.8 as an estimate of mean. So mean जो है मेरे पास वो ये आ जाता है। Okay, now find the standard error of the mean. Let's see, अब क्या क्या दिया है ये नंबर्स आपको दिए जाएंगे इसमें, ठीक है। हाँ, एक मिनट, ये वाला देखिए, स्टैंडर्ड एरर ऑफ द एस्टिमेट ये निकालना है आपको। सिमिलर प्रॉब्लम वैसा ही है, क्योंकि ये थोड़ा बड़ा है इसमें। ये जो है 1.3, ये नंबर्स आपको दिए गए, चलो यही ले लेंगे। ये नंबर्स आपको दिए गए, तो आपको पहले क्या करना है, ये जो नंबर्स आपको दिए जाएंगे जब भी, पहले इसका मीन निकालना है आपको। मीन मतलब टोटल अपॉन इसका नंबर ऑफ एलिमेंट्स, तो ये आ गया आपका मीन। ये मीन यहां लिखकर you have to prepare the same table when you get such numbers, okay, and you are asked to find the standard deviation. So आपको आगे क्या करना है, 15.3 20 ये पूरे नंबर आपको एग्जाम में दिए जाएंगे, इसका मीन निकालो। x माइनस मीन ऑफ x मीन्स इसमें से सबको माइनस करो, और ये जो आंसर आएगा आपका, फिर इसको वापस x माइनस मीन ऑफ x का स्क्वायर निकालना है हमें यहाँ पर स्क्वायर निकालना है हमें, एंड देन वी हैव टू टोटल दैट। टोटल होने के बाद इसका जो मीन आया था वैरिएंस निकालना है फिर हमें, x माइनस एक्स बार द होल स्क्वायर अपॉन n माइनस वन। n माइनस वन मतलब कौन सा, जो मुझे सैंपल साइज दिया गया था, अपॉन n माइनस वन। ये होने के बाद मेरा आंसर आएगा। उसके बाद सो दैट इज वैरिएंस ऑफ द दिस सैंपल। अभी वैरिएंस के बाद मुझे क्या करना है, स्टैंडर्ड डेविएशन। स्टैंडर्ड डेविएशन इज ऑलवेज द स्क्वायर रूट ऑफ दिस वैरिएंस। तो स्क्वायर रूट ऑफ दिस वैरिएंस मींस स्क्वायर रूट ऑफ 62.7, दैट बिकम्स 7.92। हमेशा ध्यान में रखना कि अगर ये ऐसे प्रॉब्लम जो आते हैं, आपको ये एलिमेंट्स दिए जाते हैं, एंड देन यू आर आस्क्ड टू फाइंड द स्टैंडर्ड डेविएशन। When you are asked to find the standard deviation, follow these steps only. X, then find x bar, then find x minus x bar, then square those x minus x bar, then total you have to find out of x minus x bar square, then you have to find out mean of this x, means x bar mean means total upon number of elements, then you have to find out the variance. Variance is used using this formula, this whatever you have got it over here, ये जो आपको ऊपर आया है ना x, this final answer 689.72। ये देखिए, ये आपको करके देखना पड़ेगा अभी आज, ठीक है। ये वीडियो फिर से देखिए, पॉज कीजिए और बाद में ये सॉल्व करके देखिए। तो वैरिएंस आएगा आपका, ये वैरिएंस आने, ये फॉर्मूला ध्यान से देखिए, x माइनस एक्स बार द होल स्क्वायर अपॉन n माइनस वन, ठीक है। तो इसके बाद आपको ये 62.7 आंसर आएगा। इसके बाद आपको स्टैंडर्ड डेविएशन लेना है, दैट इज 7.92 स्क्वायर रूट ऑफ दैट, ओके। सिमिलरली ऐसे ही एक और प्रॉब्लम है, लेट मी सी। हाँ, ये जो है, ये है आपका पूरा बड़ा प्रॉब्लम। ये भी 5 मार्क्स में, 5 मार्क्स का केस स्टडी है ये भी, पर 5 मार्क्स में इतना नहीं पूछेंगे वो लोग, ठीक है। तो हाँ, अभी किसने पूछा वाई n माइनस वन, तो n माइनस वन जो होता है ना, ये देखिए, जब भी आप सैंपल का मीन लेते हैं, सैंपल का वैरिएंस लेते हैं, तो उसमें हमेशा फॉर्मूला में n माइनस वन होता है। पॉपुलेशन का लोगे तो इट्स ऑलवेज कैपिटल N ओनली, ओके। दैट्स व्हाई आई सेड अर्लियर आल्सो कि when you are dealing with population, always use only capital N whatever is given to you, and when you are dealing with sample, you use this n minus 1, okay. Keep that in mind. Now why n minus 1? There is a big derivation for that. Now you don't have time, and even I don't have time now, so we won't go into that. Why not only small n, and why are you concerned right now? अब ये स्टेज पे क्या है, स्टार्ट में देखना है सब, okay. Find the following data. For the following data, find the best fitting line. अब आपको बेस्ट फिटिंग लाइन निकालनी है, मतलब y इक्वल्स टू a प्लस bx निकालना है। मीन्स व्हाट, आपका ये प्रॉब्लम आता है कोरिलेशन और रिग्रेशन का। कंप्यूट द स्टैंडर्ड एरर, वो भी आपको निकालना है, स्टैंडर्ड एरर बाद में। फाइंड एन अप्रोक्सीमेट प्रेडिक्शन और इंटरवल for the dependent variable y when x equals to 44 with 95% confidence. अब ये 95 रूल मैं एक बार बता ही देता हूँ आपको। 68, 95, 99 रूल होता है। What is 68, 95, 99 rule? Anyone knows 68, 95, 99 rule? देखिए क्या होता है, what do we do actually in sampling? Sampling में करते क्या है हम लोग? सैम्पलिंग में सपोज आई टेल यू टू सर्वे 1 लाख पीपल इन योर सिटी, ओके, पूरे सिटी में सपोज आपका पॉपुलेशन है, आपके सिटी का 20 लाख पॉपुलेशन है, तो सपोज पकड़ के चलो कि आपको बोला गया कि आप एक काम करो, पूरे सिटी का सर्वे करो. Is it possible for you to contact all those 20 lakh? What will you do? You will do a sample. मतलब आप थोड़ा थोड़ा कलेक्ट करोगे सब जगह से. अब क्या करना है अपने को, ये सैंपल लेना है, सैंपल का जो आंसर है वो लेना है, और ये पॉपुलेशन का आंसर जो आएगा, ये दोनों, ये देखिए, ये सैंपल का आंसर, ये पॉपुलेशन का आंसर, ये दोनों में कितना डिफरेंस आएगा इसका अंदाजा मुझे लगाना है, अंदाजा. और अगर ये डिफरेंस ज्यादा नहीं होगा तो मैं ये 20 लाख लोगों को क्यों काउंट करूं या क्यों उनसे मिलूं. मैं उसमें से उससे अच्छा है कि 2000 लोगों से ही मिलूं और अपना आंसर निकालूं. सपोज 2000 लोगों से मिलकर अगर मेरा आंसर आने वाला है लेट्स से 10, और 20 लाख लोगों से मिलकर मेरा आंसर आने वाला है लेट्स से 11, तो एक का अगर फर्क है तो मैं ये इसके लिए 20 लाख लोगों का कॉस्ट कितना आएगा और 2000 लोगों का कॉस्ट कितना है, राइट. सो दैट्स व्हाई इट्स ऑलवेज डन ऑन सैंपल्स एंड दैट इज अप्लाइड टू द फुल पॉपुलेशन. नाउ दिस एप्लीकेशन हैज सम एरर्स. ये जो एप्लीकेशन होता है ये सब एरर होता है. तो वो एरर जो है ना, वो एरर कितना हो सकता है, मतलब अपना पॉपुलेशन का जो अपने को एक्चुअल चाहिए और जो सैंपल से आया है उससे कितना वेरी हो सकता है. तो वो वेरिएशन जो होता है ना वो लिया जाता है 1 साइड, 2 साइड और 3 साइड में. मीन्स 68% नॉर्मल फिट, 95% नॉर्मल फिट और 99% नॉर्मल फिट, ऐसा दिया जाता है. तो 1 साई मतलब क्या, इसमें स्टैंडर्ड एरर आएगा, वो अपने को कैलकुलेट करना पड़ता है. देखिए यहाँ क्वेश्चन भी है आपको, स्टैंडर्ड एरर ऑफ एस्टिमेट फाइंड करना है आपको, ठीक है. तो ये अभी आपको पूरा करना है अपने को. ये इसमें पूरा आपको ऑलमोस्ट 5 मार्क के 2 केस स्टडी निकल जाएंगे इसमें. ये लिख के लेना हमारे से, 2 केस स्टडी आपको इसमें से निकलने वाले. पहले y = a + bx में ये एक केस स्टडी आएगा, और दूसरा, या इनफैक्ट इसमें दो 3 केस स्टडी मैं बोलता हूँ आपको, बोलते जाता हूँ जैसे आएगा ये. ओके, सो x values are given to you, y values are given to you. Okay, we have to find this best fitting line first. So how do we find this? Now what I told you, this correlation case study, this is that correlation case study. What do? You write down the values of x first, x and y. All these x, write it over here, write the y over here. Then what you do? Find the x square. Each element x square you find out. 56 का स्क्वायर 3136, 50 का 2500, everyone square. Similarly y square, 45 का स्क्वायर 2025, 40.4 का स्क्वायर 1632, ब्ला ब्ला ब्ला, जो भी है. आप एक बार ये वीडियो पॉज कर लो बाद में, और बाद में यू कैन फाइंड इट आउट. ओके, सो व्हाट डू वी डू? फर्स्ट फाइंड आउट x स्क्वायर, देन फाइंड आउट y स्क्वायर, देन फाइंड आउट xy. xy मींस मल्टीप्लिकेशन. अब आप बोलोगे ये क्या है और कितना याद रखना हमने, तो देखिए इट्स वेरी सिंपल. हाउ टू रिमेम्बर ऑल दीज थिंग्स? वैरिएंस ऑफ x निकालना है आपको, तो आपको x स्क्वायर लगेगा. वैरिएंस ऑफ y निकालना है तो y स्क्वायर लगेगा, और कोवेरिएंस ऑफ xy निकालना है तो xy लगेगा. क्योंकि उसके फॉर्मूले अगर आपने देखे होंगे तभी, तो क्या थे? समेशन x स्क्वायर अपॉन n, राइट, माइनस x बार का स्क्वायर, राइट. that was the thing, right. Somebody has rightly told that result accuracy. Yeah. z टेबल एग्जाम में नहीं दिए जाते आजकल. वो क्या है, z पर आपको द स्पेसिफिक वैल्यू फॉर दैट z इज गिवन इन द क्वेश्चन इटसेल्फ. दे डोंट गिव यू द टेबल्स. z का जो उनको चाहिए वैल्यू, उसके हिसाब से वो वैल्यू दिया जाएगा. 3 वैल्यूज दिए जाएंगे आपको कंफ्यूज करने के लिए. z फॉर दिस इज दिस और दिस इज दिस. ओके, तो आपको उसमें से 3 में से सिलेक्ट करना है आपके आंसर के हिसाब से. ओके, कमिंग बैक टू दिस कोरिलेशन. देखिए, फॉलो दिस स्टेप्स एंड माइंड वेल. 5 मार्क आपके जेब में है. कौन से, वो भी मैं बोलता हूँ. ये पूरे केस स्टडी में आपको रफली 15 मार्क जेब में आएंगे. 3 केस स्टडी दिख रही है मुझे, 3 केस स्टडीज दिख रही है मुझे यहाँ से. पहली केस स्टडी ये स्टार्ट है पूरी, ये अपन कर रहे हैं। तो अभी इसमें क्या करना है, x को टोटल करो, ये सब को टोटल करो, x y x square y square x y एंड डिवाइड बाय n आल्सो, n से डिवाइड भी कर लो। तो व्हाट एम आई गेटिंग ओवर हियर, समेशन x बार मीन समेशन x अपॉन n, मतलब ये मेरा मीन आ गया, x बार आ गया, ये मेरा y बार आ गया, ये मेरा क्या आ गया, समेशन x स्क्वायर अपॉन n, ये मेरा क्या आ गया, समेशन y स्क्वायर अपॉन n, ये मेरा क्या आ गया, समेशन xy अपॉन n। ये मुझे कहां लगेगा, ये मुझे लगेगा वैरिएंस ऑफ x में, ये मुझे कहां लगेगा, वैरिएंस ऑफ y में, ये मुझे कहां लगेगा, कोवैरिएंस में। तो ऑलवेज फॉलो दिस स्टेप्स, नेवर एवर even miss out on a single step, x y x square y square x y, add them and then divided by n। ओके, इसके बाद अब आप देखिए वैरिएंस ऑफ x का फॉर्मूला, ये देखिए ये पहली केस स्टडी चल रही है अपनी, आर तक पहली केस स्टडी होने वाली है, आर यहां तक पहली केस स्टडी होने वाली है, यहां तक 5 मार्क्स की केस स्टडी पहले यहां तक होने वाली है, और आपको एग्जाम में भी ऐसी ही आएगी। ओके, सो वैरिएंस ऑफ x इक्वल्स टू समेशन x स्क्वायर अपॉन n, ये आपके पास पहले ही है, माइनस x बार स्क्वायर, तो x बार भी पहले ही है, ये देखिए ये x बार आया था और ये समेशन x स्क्वायर अपॉन n पहले ही आया था, राइट। तो बस आपको माइनस करना है, ये इसका आंसर समेशन x स्क्वायर अपॉन n, ये वाला 2312.71 माइनस 47.57 पर उसका स्क्वायर, ठीक है, उसका स्क्वायर, उसको नहीं माइनस करना है, then you minus it and you'll get 49.67, that is variance of x। अब मैंने क्या कहा था, variance and okay, what did I tell you, that variance and standard deviation, these are all brothers, right? So variance I know 49.67, then what will I do, what will I find out, standard deviation, so variance x, standard deviation x, then what, variance of y, similarly summation y square upon n minus y bar the whole square, so 26.799, then standard deviation of y equals to square root of this variance, always remember standard deviation is the square root of the variance, always remember this। So square root of variance I've got it, so square root of 26.799, that is 5.17, then covariance here, now I've got this variance, now I've got this variance x, variance y, now what do I want covariance of xy, same steps you have to follow, आपको यही follow करना है, variance x, variance y, covariance of xy, same formula again, summation xy upon n minus x bar dot y bar, all the values I'm having it, see this, summation xy upon n 1870 माइनस x बार डॉट y बार 47.57 into 38.56, ये देखिए इसमें you have to use that only over here, okay, and what you get is 36.453, covariance you have got it here, for variance you have standard deviation, but for covariance you don't have any standard covariance, okay, आपके पास क्या होता है in that case, for covariance we have r, these guys have standard deviation, this guy has r, ठीक है, इनके पास ये है तो इसके पास आर है, तुम्हारे पास क्या है, माँ है, मेरे पास बंगला है, मेरे पास बंगला है, गाड़ी है, दौलत है, तुम्हारे पास क्या है, मेरे पास आर है, मेरे पास एक्स है, स्टैंडर्ड डिविएशन है, तुम्हारे पास क्या है, मेरे पास आर है, ओके, सो एवरीवन हैज दीज, ओके, एवरीवन हैज सम वन सपोर्टिंग पर्सन, variance has a supporting person standard deviation and covariance has a supporting person of this coefficient r, okay, this case study is over for 5 marks, then you'll ask me where are the 5 marks, for 1 mark is over here, variance of x, 1 mark is variance of y, 1 mark is this covariance, then 1 mark is some standard deviation of anyone, and 1 mark is this r, okay, that case study is over there. Now next case study, when they give you an exam, in that case they'll give you all the values over here, because they can't ask you to find this also and this also, they can't ask you, you don't have that much time, because after all they are giving only 5 marks, right? Okay, now what do I do in that case, what do I do when I get such things, when I get 5 marks questions, I'll end it over here. In fact, this IIBF will end it over here. And next question, when they'll ask you, they'll give you all these 4 things, 4-5 things. Variance denge, then standard deviation denge, variance denge, all this X, Y, and covariance and this correlation R, all will be given to you. Then what will they ask you? They'll ask you, okay, you find this Y equals to A plus BX. अब आपको क्या करना है then? A and B you have to find it out. How to find out this A and B? देखिए, always target B first. Never target A. A पहले आता है तो A के पीछे भागोगे, ऐसे थोड़ी चलता है. First find B. What is the formula for B? Same as above. What is this formula for above? Say this. What was the formula over here for this? What say this? Where is that? This. No. This is R. Okay. What was the formula for this R? Covariance of xy upon standard deviation x into standard deviation y. Same formula है, सिर्फ थोड़ा चेंज किया. B फाइंड करना है तो covariance of xy upon standard deviation of x का square. No y business over here. So standard deviation x square. So what is that? But standard deviation x square means what? Can anyone tell me? What is the square of standard deviation x? It is variance. Okay. It is variance basically. So what are we doing actually? B equals to covariance of xy upon variance of x. Covariance of xy upon variance of x. This is very, very important. B equals to covariance of xy upon variance of x. Then you will find out B because you know variance of x and you know covariance. B you have got it. अब B के आगे क्या करना है? I found out B. Now how to find out A? In that A, what will I need is this x and y, I'll have to convert it to x bar and y bar. So that will also be given in the exam in that case. Okay. So you will be given x bar, y bar, and you have found out B. So input the values. In place of y, put y bar. In place of x, put x bar. And in place of B, put this value. So what remains? You will get A. पूरा सॉल्व करो, मल्टीप्लाई करो इसको and then take it on the other side. See this, I have taken this. A equals to mean of y means this y bar minus B into mean of x, B into x bar. Okay. So once you have found out this A, now you have got this y equals to A, you have got the answer. B, you have got the answer. X, keep it as it is. So what were the questions over here? See these, what were the questions? Find the data from the following data, find the best fitting line. So what have I got? Y equals to, this is my answer required in this question. Okay. So Y equals to A I have got, B I have got. So that is my answer required. Now what is my next question in this? Compute the standard error of the estimate. अब ये कुछ तो नया लफड़ा आ गया. What is this new लफड़ा? Standard error. Say this. What is the formula for standard error? We have seen this earlier. Just now we had seen this. But अब ये क्या है? ये और एक नया चक्कर है आपको. ये देखिए. There is one day remaining. Otherwise, I would have explained it the whole thing in details. How to remember this standard error formula? I have told in my paid classes also. How to remember this? ये जो line है ना आपका, y equals to a plus bx. What do you do? Take everything on the other side. So what it is? Y minus a minus bx. आगे यहाँ तक clear है? Y minus a minus bx. Clear है? Everyone is clear up to over here. So what do I do now? Multiply everything by y. Multiply everything by y. Means what do I get now? Y square minus ay minus bxy. ये देखिए स्टैंडर्ड एरर का फॉर्मूला यहाँ दिया है. Y square minus ay minus bxy. समेशन है खाली उसको. ओके. Upon n minus 2. अब ये नया लफड़ा है n minus 2 here. You have to remember these things. क्योंकि क्या है ये लास्ट डे और लास्ट डे को अपने को खाली we are in the 40th over, right? Means 50th over. लास्ट 2 ओवर्स बचे. लास्ट 2 ओवर्स में आप अगर क्लासिकल बैटिंग करने लगे राहुल द्रविड़ जैसे तो नहीं चलेगा. आपको सहवाग लगेगा. मेक इट सहवाग. ओनली आया बॉल हिट मारो. नो थिंकिंग. Okay. So A equals to what? This you have got it. this A you have got, everything you have got. Now standard error, remember this formula, standard error square root of summation y square minus A into summation y minus B into summation xy. ये कहाँ से आया? ये इसको y से मल्टीप्लाई किया मैंने खाली, y square ay bxy, right? bx को y से मल्टीप्लाई करो, bxy आएगा, and put summation everywhere upon n minus 2. Okay, तो हमेशा ध्यान में रखना ये. Okay, now you have got this summation. Now these all values we have already over here. See this summation y square, we are having it, this 10594. See this over here. Summation y I am having it. Summation xy I am having it. I am having the value of A. I am having the value of B. Got it over here, right? So everything I have got it now. Just standard error, I have got the answer. Compute the standard error. Then last one is what? Find an approximate prediction interval for the dependent variable y when x equals to 44 with 95% confidence. अब 95 means what? कितना psi आएगा? 2 psi. 68 अगर होता तो 1 psi. If 68 then 1 psi. If 95 then 2 psi. And then 99 means 3 psi. Okay. So here what is my psi means what? Standard error. Means this 0.219. Okay. Now I wanted 95% confidence. So what do I do? See this, x equals to 44, this here. How to solve this? When x equals to 44, we have to find out y. So first what you do, put x equals to 44 in this value. What do you get? Y equals to A you know, B you know, and you have got this x equals to 44. Put it over here. See this, A, B and this x. And you will get the value of y. But you don't want this value of y. उनको क्या चाहिए? 95% confidence. Means ये कहाँ से कहाँ fluctuate होगा. Okay. This value, how much will it fluctuate? So how much will it fluctuate? 95% confidence. So 2 into standard error. So what is the standard error? This 0.219. So 2 into 0.219. उसको multiply करो. What is the answer? 0.43. Right? तो ये 0.43 जो है स्टैंडर्ड एरर, दैट विल बी वंस एडेड वंस सब्ट्रैक्टेड. सो 35.93 प्लस 0.43 और 35.93 minus 0.43. See this. So it will be 35.9 this 93. I've taken this 94 directly. 93 का 94 ले लिया. 35.94 प्लस और माइनस 2 into ये किया था. तो प्लस और माइनस 2 into it is it should be 0.43. जो भी इसका आंसर है, इसको 2 मल्टीप्लाई करके जो 0.43 आएगा ना आपका आंसर, 0.4243 आएगा रफली कुछ. तो उसको मल्टीप्लाई करो, ये 0.439. तो बस इसको आपको दो बार ये इसको या तो एक बार इसमें ऐड करो और एक बार इसमें माइनस करो. दैट्स इट. दैट विल बी द रेंज गिवन इन द पेपर. That will be the range given in the paper. Okay. Okay. Now somebody wants y equals to a plus bx. One more time. Okay. देखिए क्या होता है y equals to a plus bx. How to find it out? Y equals to a plus bx. Okay. I'll take this case study again because ये आपके दिमाग की में फिट बैठना चाहिए तो ही ये केस स्टडी काम की. राइट. कल आपको जब पेपर दिखेगा तो आपको समझ में आना चाहिए भाई ये वही है. फॉलो द स्टेप्स सेम. ये स्टेप स्टार्ट करो, खत्म. एक्स वाई टेबल बनाओ, रफ पेपर लो, टेबल बनाओ, एक्स वाई एक्स स्क्वायर वाई स्क्वायर एक्स वाई लिया, सब लिख के निकालो. कैलकुलेटर है अपने हाथ में, मल्टीप्लाई स्क्वायर करो इसका, फाइंड द स्क्वायर ऑफ एक्स एक्स स्क्वायर, देन वाई वाई स्क्वायर, देन एक्स वाई मल्टीप्लाई करके यहां ले लो. डन एकदम. फिर अभी क्या है? आफ्टर दिस डू द टोटल, then add it by 9, add it by n, number of elements. So जैसे number of elements से divide हो जाएगा, you'll get these, you have got these values now. x upon n, summation x upon n, summation y upon n, summation x square upon n, and summation y square upon n, summation xy upon n. ठीक है? Now we have got this, just input the values of in the formula. Variance equals to summation x square upon n minus x bar square. You have both the values. Just put it over here. You'll get variance. Then you'll get standard deviation. Then you'll get variance of y. Then standard deviation of y. Then covariance of xy. Similar formula, right? Then once you get the covariance of xy, find R correlation. Once you have got this correlation, then you find the a plus bx, y equals to a plus bx. How to find that? B equals to what? First target B. Okay. B equals to what? Covariance of xy upon variance of x. Okay. So you have got these values again. So you have got B. Once you have got B, input the value of B over here. Then instead of y and x, input y bar and x bar. Okay. You have inputted y bar and x bar, you have inputted B, then you will get A. Once you have got A, just subtract this. Okay, means put these values and find the value of A. Then you have got both A and B. So you have got the line y equals to A plus bx. Then whatever x is given, 44 is given in this question. So input the value in of 44 and you will get the value of y. Then standard error, 95% confidence. So plus or minus 2 times. So 2 times means what? This पहले standard error निकालना पड़ेगा आपको. Standard error means what? Square root of summation y square minus a summation y minus b summation xy the whole upon n minus 2. Input it, 2 times multiply करो and then add and subtract it over here. That's it. Okay. Now we'll go to module D. C में तो कोई case study है ही नहीं. Sorry, C में तो कोई problem है ही नहीं. C में what you will get in C is 1 or 2 case studies. Theory, probable questions. So I'll tell you in C, Jory window will be there. Definitely. Jory window you will get it over there. Then you will get attitude, attribute. These two things you will get in exams. What do you mean by attitude? What do you mean by attribute? Then what is the job title? What is the JD? Then next one liner you will get is what is 360-degree appraisal. Nowadays there can't be a paper without 360-degree appraisal. Okay, so you will get it over there, and those 9 theories of all those guys, that Maslow, then the Herzberg theory, Herzberg two-factor theory, Herzberg two-factor theory and Maslow, that you will definitely get it. Then type A person, type B person, that you will get it. Then TA systems you will get it. I am okay, you are okay. I am not okay, you are okay. All that. Okay. So that is sure to come. All these things, TA life positions. Then you'll get a difference between andragogy and pedagogy. Something related to andragogy and pedagogy will be there. Okay. So what is pedagogy? Anyone? Pedagogy? Pedagogy means for children, and andra means adult learning. Then you will get one in module C. I am talking now. Then you will get the difference between training and development. Where is training given? Where is development given? So training kahan diya jata hai? Training is always given where? For routine jobs. Where is development given? Development is given for thinking jobs. Okay. Then now we come to here, and 2 case studies. 2 case studies will be there on big case studies. Means what? One paragraph will be given to you, and you will be asked 5 questions. Now, how to tackle those 5 questions? Remember, in the end, remind me, or I'll remember it also, how to solve the paper. Those will keep it roughly 2 to 3 minutes in the end. How to solve the paper, and you solve it, you'll definitely clear it, and write a comment tomorrow also. Okay. So module D now, networks. Here again the formula. Module D, you are having the problems in ratio analysis. You'll get the problems in ratio analysis. So what are the problems over here? Net worth. Net worth means what? See here, net worth means asset total, whatever I am having. Okay. Means whatever is going and then whatever is remaining. Then whatever is remaining is my net worth. Assets over liabilities. Now, capital plus reserves. Now, what is this called as? Capitals plus reserves. Remember, any net worth will have 3 parts. Important 3 parts. One is capital. Capital means what? Share capital, I'll call it. Share capital will be there. Then reserve. Reserve is, what do you mean by reserve? Reserves and surplus. We always see that in the balance sheet. What is reserves and surplus? What is that? Reserve and surplus means the profit which I have earned in my earlier years. but I have not given it to my either to my this dividend tag, means whoever are the investors of my stocks as a dividend, or I have not invested it in my some project of mine. So whatever is remaining, that is calculated as reserve. Okay. So always remember there are three parts to any net worth. One is share capital, second is reserves and surplus, and third is net profit. Net profit comes from your P&L. Then networking capital. Total now networking capital means what? Basically, total current assets minus total current liability. What is this total current asset minus total current liability? This is another name for this is, can anyone tell me? Total current asset minus total current liability. What is the another name for this? Another name for this, total current assets minus total current liabilities. Another name for that is net working capital. Okay, what is the difference between net working capital and gross working capital? Net working capital and gross means here. Always remember at CAIIB level means you are at a senior level now. Okay, after CAIIB you will be given some huge projects, huge books, various balance sheets to handle. So after that you shouldn't know, you shouldn't be blank in that. So gross working capital means total of the current assets, and net working capital means total current asset minus current liabilities. So this difference is net working capital. Long-term source, again we are having problems at the end. Although remember this, huh? So long-term source minus long-term use. Debt equity ratio. Debt equity ratio means what? Total loan upon tangible net worth. So here, in any ratio, there are three types of ratios basically: profitability, turnover, and solvency. Okay, basic ratios I can call it. Profitability means again there are five types of ratios in profitability. Means two gross and net profit ratio. Then next is that EPS and PE, and next last one is this overall profitability. Okay, turnover are of three types. Three types of turnover means what? Stock turnover, debtor turnover, and that last one is days, number of days. And solvency is of two types. Always remember, now this is very important. Solvency is of two types: short-term solvency and long-term solvency. What is short-term solvency? Short-term always has two ratios again. Which one? Current ratio and liquid. Long-term has again two ratios: debt equity, this is what we are looking at now, debt equity ratio, and fixed asset ratio, FA ratio. Okay, so term loan upon tangible net worth means basically outside liability upon inside liability. Basic thumb rule is outside liability upon inside liability. Okay, so that's how that this D ratio is calculated. Then total liability upon shareholder equity means that again there are three ways of calculating, but for CAIIB level you always get this much only: outside upon inside in debt equity. Dscr, this ratio is this is outside the purview of our normal ratio analysis system, but this is very important. Dscr, why? Because every term loan there we can't sanction without if the Dscr doesn't fulfill. Okay, so what is Dscr? Total Dscr means it gives the ability of that customer to repay the loan within 1 year. Means within next year coming, whether he has the capacity to repay the EMI of my loan, means whether he is getting that much income. So how do I know that? Here it's like this: net profit plus depreciation plus interest on long-term liability. These three are in the numerator: net profit plus depreciation plus interest on long term, and upon total installment. Installment means not only your installment. If he is paying some other installments also, add that also, plus this interest on long term. Bring this again down. So this interest on long term is in the numerator also and in the denominator also. And numerator, other two things are net profit plus depreciation. Denominator, total installments. Okay. So these formula is here. Problems which you get, everything is given to you. You have to just remember the formula. Otherwise, if you don't remember the formula and you go on studying something, it's of no use. Okay. Return on asset. Return on asset equals to operating profit upon total asset minus intangible asset. Now, what is this intangible asset? What is intangible asset? Yeah, does anyone know what is intangible asset? Intangible asset. Anyone? Intangible asset means tick tick 1, tick tick 2, tick tick 3, tick tick 4. Intangible asset. Intangible asset means this, whatever you have those intellectual property rights. Those are all intangible assets. Means if you have some copyright, if you have some trademark, that is called as intangible asset. Okay. So operating profit. Now, what is operating profit then? Here, operating profit means the gross profit minus your operating expenses. Operating expenses means file expense and electricity expense and all those things. But in that, you don't subtract the depreciation and interest in that. Okay? Because this is known as EBIT. After EBIT means earning before interest and taxation. After EBIT, I first deduct the depreciation. After depreciation, then I deduct the interest. After interest, I deduct the taxes which I have paid. And then what I get is the net tax, this net profit. Okay. So EBIT minus this and this all depreciation and interest and this. In fact, EBITDA, the real word is EBITDA. From that EBITDA, we get EBIT. From that EBIT, we get this after tax, NPAT we call it, net profit after taxation. Then the new two ratios are ICR, interest coverage ratio, equals to EBIT upon interest on long-term borrowings. Okay, so EBIT is earning before interest and taxation. Total outside liabilities equals to current liability plus long-term liability. Write down, learn this formula. Okay. Total tangible assets equals to current asset plus fixed asset plus other non-current asset. Now these terms are given to you in exam. Okay. Tangible net worth equals to net worth minus intangible asset. This, what all we just now saw, this goodwill, then trademark and everything. Okay. Current ratio, current asset upon current liabilities. Now in current asset, what all do we consider in current asset? Always here, there are many things, but for CAIIB, I'll tell you only 4 things. Remember 4. Which 4? Okay. Which 4 things are there? This cash, debtors, inventory and prepaid expenses. Only these 4 things. You get the paper based on that only. Cash, debtors, then inventory and this last one is prepaid expenses. Okay. Now this is current part. But what is quick part or liquid ratio? In liquid ratio, out of these 4, you consider only 2. Which one? Cash plus debtors. Okay. Cash plus debtors. Only in liquid. But in current, all the 4. And current liabilities is common. Current liabilities is same. Okay. So cash plus debtors plus what that second one I told you, inventory plus that last one is prepaid expenses upon current liabilities. Okay. And here it's minus inventories. Why? Because prepaid expenses are very rarely given in exam. That's why but if they are given, then you will have to minus that also. CA minus inventories minus prepaid expenses. Okay. Generally, they are not given in exam. That's why not written over here. Okay. So quick asset. Quick asset means same thing again. Current asset minus inventory. ROC, return on capital employed. Net profit after tax, NPAT, upon total capital employed into 100. Okay. What is the net profit and what is my total capital? Okay. Now we come to the problems. 2-3 problems we will be solving. Gross profit ratio of a company was 25%. Its credit revenue from operations was 20 lakhs and its cash revenue from operations was 10% of the total revenue of the operations. If the indirect expenses of the company were 50,000, calculate its net profit. Now, how to do this? See here, problem is very simple, but only the thing is we get confused. Gross profit ratio given is 25%. Credit revenue from operations is 20 lakhs and its cash revenue from operations is 10%. So out of whatever that revenue companies get, revenue means what? Sales. 20 lakh sales. Out of that, cash sales are only 10%, means 2 lakh. Okay. So cash sales are 2 lakhs. So what are the remaining sales? Credit sales. If the company is having credit sales of 18 lakhs, okay. So what do we want? We want that, and whatever is given. If the indirect expenses are 50,000, calculate the net profit. So cash revenue from operations is 20 lakh into 10% upon this 90. It's taken. Yeah, it's okay. You can do it all. 9. In fact, you can take 100 also over here. So 2 lakh it will be, or 90. Yeah. See here, when it's given, total revenue is given. It's credit. Okay, credit revenue is given. Okay, I thought it's total revenue. Credit revenue given is 20 lakhs. Okay, credit revenue given is 20 lakhs and cash revenue is 10% of the total revenue. Now, my total revenue will be what? Credit plus cash. Okay, so that's why I've taken this 90. Otherwise, if this would have been total revenue, then I would have taken it over 100. Okay, so 90 is my credit revenue. 20 lakhs into 10 upon 90. That's what I'm getting. So I'm getting this cash revenue 2222. Okay. Hence the total revenue from operations are this here. 20 was my credit plus this 2222, everything added. So that is 2222. Just add them, you'll get the answer. Now what have I got? Total revenue. Now what do I want? But gross profit is given as 25%. So 25% of the total revenue. So 0.25 into this. So I'm getting this 5555 everything. Next, net profit equals to gross profit, means total 5555 minus these expenses, operating expenses. So this is my net profit. So net profit ratio I want. If I am asked, then net profit ratio equals to net profit upon sales or revenue from operations. So net profit is what? 50555, whatever I have got it, upon revenue from operations or sales, that 2222 everything into 100. So I'll get it 22.75. Now what have I got? Net profit ratio. And what am I asked? Suppose the current ratio is 4:1. It is given. Current ratio given is net profit. Yeah. Now, okay. This was the only question asked. Calculated net profit ratio. So only this much. The answer is over here. 22.75. Okay. Now, next problem. Suppose the current ratio is 4:1. Net working capital equals to 30,000. What is the amount of current assets? One line of problem. Current ratio is 4:1. Net working capital equals to 30,000. What is the amount of current assets? Is it simple or is it difficult? Current ratio I know, 4:1. What is current ratio? Current asset upon current liabilities. Okay. So current asset, I'll call it CA upon CL equals to 4. So what is CA then? CA equals to 4 into CL. CA equals to 4 into CL. Right? But what is net working capital? Net working capital is again CA minus CL. CA minus CL. But I know CA. CA equals to 4 into CL. Just now I found out. Right? Suppose if I use this CA equals to X, okay, and CY, this CL equals to Y, current liability equals to Y. So X upon Y equals to 4. So X equals to what? 4Y. But what is net working capital? Net working capital is again this current assets minus current liabilities. So X minus Y. But I know this X equals to 4Y now. So 4Y minus Y equals to 30,000. 4y minus y equals to 30,000. It means 3y equals to 30,000. So y equals to 10,000. Means current liability equals to 10,000. What do I want? Current asset. What is the ratio? 4:1. So 10,000 into 4. So this is my answer. Current asset. Right? At CAIIB level, this is very important. Somebody has asked me to clarify this 90%. This 90. Okay. Sir, why have I taken this 90? Is this what is given over here? Its credit revenue from operations was 20,000. credit revenue from operations. So if credit revenue is 20 lakhs, then total revenue will be what? Credit plus cash, right? So if it's given that credit revenue is 20 lakhs, then take this as 90. If it is given total revenue is 20 lakhs, then take this as 100. Understand this concept, okay? If total revenue is given, then take this as 100. If credit revenue is given only, then take this as 90. Okay? Got this point now? Okay. So that was it for today, this running session. You can download this app, Adda 24/7 app on your mobile to have all these exam details as well as the study material plus live sessions plus paid sessions. Okay, we take detailed sessions in that, and also we are running the discount of 80% now. It is 80% discount. Okay, avail that as much as possible. Even if you avail it today with 80% discount, then also you'll get all the paid videos. Okay, in the night for study. So avail that also now. Use this code Y432. Then only you'll get this 80% discount. Okay. So tell your friends also on the social media. And best of luck for your future. Best of luck for tomorrow's exam. Okay. Again, we'll be having similar class for BFM on last day. Okay. So keep studying. Bye from my side.